four-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my God! When does this happen? Everybody's dead.
You ever just watch the intro and realize someone says mosh pit when it's just a moor? Which is like reasonable. I know I'm not one to judge. I'd probably do a far worse job. Like, huh. But anyway, I may be quieter today, so if I'm a bit quiet and someone does see anything, aka hi Rock, I hope you're doing well, just give me a yell. But today we have another Nexus Gaming Series match replay that's being cast, and this time we actually have Division D East. Division D is something I've not touched this season, so it should be interesting to see kind of how they are playing out this season. I don't know where these teams are ranked within the D East kind of scene currently. All I know is hopefully it will be a good one, because we have the teams start slow then taper off, facing Rise and Grind, I should say. Also, welcome 0 Day Attack. I hope you are doing well this evening. Afternoon, maybe? I'm not sure. Time zones are weird. Anyway, we do see start slow then taper off decided to ban Dragonshire and Tomb of the Spider Queen, if I have everything correct. And then we see the side of Rise and Grind banned out Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow. And then that lead me to banning my personal favourite map that I have absolutely not casted every single match so far this season, Infernal Shrines. Also, hi Ronan, hope you're doing well as well. So without further ado, I am going to hope that my setup doesn't break once again, because it did just before when I was throwing a twist stream button. Let's just cut it over and let's just get this rolling. Also, hi Venus, hope you're doing well. So, on the left side, we have, for a start, I hope this is start slow and taper. For start slow and taper off, we have 0 Day Attack on Blaze, Fenrir on the Cassia, Rital W on the Stukov. I'm just kind of rubbing my mouse from going, yes, they'll make remember name. And Xenocrisis on the Anubarak. Oh god, it's going to be like that today. Hopefully that's a bit better. Sometimes the microphone's a bit weird. And on the other side, and we also have Real Big Deal on the Sylvanas. And on the right hand side, we do have Last Dispatch on the Dahaka, Horus and Azari. Horus on the Vala, Azariel Abyss on the Mirrodin. Brother Nature is on the Kel'Thuzad, okay, and Life DG is on the Brightwing. And Real Big Deal has been chained, however, a bit too early for Brother Nature to really do too much about it, as no one there to tether it to, and no Glacial Spike just yet, so can't get a kind of longer combo that Kel'Thuzad is requiring, but he is at 1 stack at least. That is a good sign. We do see Xenocross Brother Nature just having a little trade, so weird start for the match so far. Typically you see a nice brawl here, being kind of rotations between top and mid. But this time we had 4 going top, 1 going bottom, 3 going mid, 1 going top, 1 going bottom, just spread out because everyone knows that Sylvanas likes to cheese, just because she has those black arrows. And Xenochrist will actually go down, Vala finding that kill with the Q, just hitting them at the end. Speaking of Qs, let's have a look at the talents real quick, as I just kind of remember what I'm doing, open this up. Anything to note as of stacking? Yes, Kel'Thuzad, as always, is stacking. Kel'Thuzad does not have a choice. He needs his stacks to get up there. He's at 2 so far. Doesn't quite hit the chain, but it's trying his damn best. We do see Vala has gone the auto attack quest, so we'll be slowly building that up over time. Ultimately, that will punch quite a punch if... I was going to say, if she can't get taken down, that's going to do a lot, but that first kill on her is going to be kind of that Gambit quest just being slowed down. That Gambit quest stack giving 30% attack speed, losing 5% on each kill, each death, I should say. And also the other stack quest, we should say, is the Thunderstroke. But meanwhile, we see Xenochrist is in there amongst the enemy team. We do see 4 members just running at the Xenochrist. Xenochrist getting tongued by Dahaka. We're just trying to see Brother Nature do his best to get stacks during this, and that we look forward already from the side of Rise and Grind. Honestly, considering how aggressive they were, I'm surprised Xenochrist was able to get out of there, considering they had a lot chasing them down. And also, hi RittleW, I hope you're doing well. Hopefully my mic is better now. I have to sometimes readjust it, and I'm looking into alternatives. Maybe getting even a better mic, so I don't sound like Garbo. But we'll see. I've got a little personal goals I have to do for that one, and let's just say we're getting there slowly. And the more I cast, funnily enough, the closer I get. Right, sorry about this. My computer's being a bit weird. We do see bottom camp is being taken by Rise and Grind, and it's not really something you're wanting when you step and start slow. If you start slow, then taper off. Currently, as you are currently wanting to not give Avala and Kel'Thuzad 2 stacked, because the longer it takes them to stack now, the easier it is going to be for you in the later game. And we can see there is that kind of safe play. However, you can't leave them just not stack forever, as we do have ejectors up, and this one actually being a frozen Punisher, which while, yeah, sure, you have Sylvanas and it does the same thing, you don't want the side of Rise and Grind to get it. We do see Xenochrist going in, trying their best, making sure they aren't going to hit anything like chains and such. We do see the free man of Start Slow and Taper Off getting pushed onto by Muradin, but not going to quite find a thing. That Root doesn't actually find anything either, and we do see now the side of Start Slow and Taper Off is kind of muscled out the side of Rise and Grind. It is an excellent 4-man stun. Tung, however, finds zero tech damage, but because of that 4-man stun, that means it is the Muradin going to go down. We do see that Vala is soon to follow after getting that first kind of stage of quest stacks, getting that plus 2% per hatred stack. I don't know how it works. Plus 1% per hatred stack. So it's plus 2% of the next stage, 3% next stage, so on and so forth. But we do see the first Punisher of the Frozen Punisher goes over to the side of Start Slow and Taper Off. They very much didn't want to give that over. And 7s, while 4s were hit first for Rise and Grind, we do see 7s who first now for... Oh, Brightwing, God no. Xenochrist had Burrow up there. That could have been very disastrous for the side of Rise and Grind, but fortunately, Brightwing was positioned safely enough where they're not going to go down immediately. However, speaking about going down immediately, we do see Muradin gets jumped by the Punisher. We see dove by Xenochrist, and just the rest of the health taken down by the ensuing damage. Because note about the Punisher, which I don't know if everyone knows the time of, it's every 15 seconds, which is, while in HOTS, that can feel like an eternity. When it happens, it can stun you for a long time. And if there is even some follow-up, I've fallen prey to follow-up from things such as I'm trying to remember her name. Kerrigan, just combo just hitting you out the gate. You're like, that's a problem, and you die. Just because you were stunned for that long. But that was the objective phase over. Start Slow and Taper Off did manage to get a keep, which is why the Frozen Punisher is so good in the early game, because they can do that. We do see one stun coming out to Muradin. We see actually the second stun coming out to Aureus after Phase Shift came out, but they decide that this is no longer their fight. It's a 3v4, 3v5, and that will be Cassia going down. Xenochrist looks like he wanted to peel, but didn't have the tools to do so, as he'd already used both Q and E early in that fight trying to get the gank. But unfortunately, they didn't have the numbers there, and the side of Rise and Grind did. However, 10s are through now, which may have been a bit helpful just that bit sooner, but here we are. We do see... Let me just open this up so it's easier for me. And we can see what talents have been picked so far. We do see Bunker has been picked by Blaze. Mind Control Sylvanas. Actually, we see Valkyrie on Cassia. Not something you see often, considering how weird it can get around walls. Massive shove on Stukov and Cocoon by the Nubrax, so pretty standard stuff. Probably going to get rid of either Aurus or the Hype, probably Aurus or Brightwing. However, thing to note about that, Kel'Thuzad actually melts it pretty quick with his Qs. That does, each of those ticks does a lot to it. Other things to note is Reign of Vengeance Vala. I'm seeing more adaptation to Haka. It's really interesting. I typically, when I've played it, I've gone Isolation, and I've seen Isolation a lot in the previous seasons. So it's interesting to see adaptation, but I guess if you want him to run him as a bulkier frontline, it makes a lot of sense. Tung hits a Beetle, very fortunate for a Nubarak that just happened to pop out of that time. Oh no, he must use ability just because, well, he would have been pulled in otherwise, and he isn't that beetle build. Vala is now in an awkward situation, has managed to hold Horus there for a bit too long on Horus' sake, and we do see him going down before the phase shift can come out. Nicely done by the side of Start Slow and Taper Off. Other things to note before I forget is the Avatar Muradin, Shadow Fissure, Kel'Thuzad, and Blink Heal Brightwing. So, relatively standard. There's just two interesting picks, I'd say. They kind of make me go, okay, I like it. I'm going to see where it goes. It's going to be interesting. I also see him at high, but I hope you're doing well, Weenus. I just realized you had messaged anything like, oh, well, didn't respond to him. Whoops. He's now going to think I'm a dick. No. Anyway, Mortar Punisher coming up now. Also relatively strong, bit weaker in the early game, because I know this one is the kind of a V1 that scales with time. But don't get me wrong, it can still pack a punch, whereas Mortars all on one building over a few structures can absolutely ruin them. And we do see Muradin actually was the one who was cocooned. That PO now gone down, but this is where kind of that adaptation to Haka can do very well, as they do have an extra beef deal with Light DT getting relatively low. We do see Vala pull back in, and that will be Brightwing going down first. Xenochrist and Zero Attack Day, both very low, had to jump in that bunker, but that is what bunker is good for, kind of acting as that temporary invulnerability. However, that is Sylvanas going down up top, as the Vala was able to find the kill there. It's even numbers now, however, Brightwing will be back earlier, and she does have phase shift up, is the important thing to note. So the side of, as I say, Start Slow and Taper Off needs to get kills now. And we can see Stukov actually gets 2 kills there. And that is the fight going over now 3-2 in the favor of Start Slow and Taper Off. However, I guess Brightwing is back now. So in theory, they could have pushed back in, but they are just going to give that objective, give that mid forward. And that will be the Mortar Punisher going over to the side of Start Slow, then Taper Off. 13's through for both sides now. Oh, they're fighting down 13s because they early pick. That makes sense now. I am missing things today. I'm tired. Nice Shadow Fissure getting just a good few hits. It was almost hard to see there. However, it doesn't quite find anything there, so it will be going on that full 16-second cooldown. Do see jump coming out. We see oncoming pings. Xenochrist wasn't quite there yet. We do see Mortar Punisher getting taken down quite quickly, actually. Gate goes down, but only one of the towers are going to fall. Xenochrist getting a bit too aggressive, I imagine. We do see him turning around to try and get out. Mind Control hits Muradin. Shadowfisher doesn't quite find anything. Hammer, Stormbolt misses. Ritual W getting relatively low. He's not those flailing swipes. He can't knock everyone away, but he can have a peel of a lifetime. Not quite. Vala is able to find that hit. Israel Abyss actually also getting out. Blink Heal doing Life GG doing their absolutely best to keep everyone up. Muradin jumping back in, however, Brother Nature will be going down bottom. Aureus in danger as well. And actually, Life DG won't be able to get that phase shift on time. That is now the Haka going down. However, Aureus and Life DG are able to hold on. And that will be a quick 3-man kill. And looks like, yep, going to be a hard push into the building as we do see the Black Arrows come out. We do see conversion happening. And we see that this building is going to go down to the Beetles, the Air Burning, and just in general the damage. Aureus, if they go down here, that is disastrous. That actually may be now a position where you can end if you're the side of Rise and Grind, just because now that is all 5 members down. Sure, there's members coming up now, 2 seconds and 5 seconds away, but oh, GG call, but no. Oh, Stukov had to back out. That is not a GG, but it is a win condition open now. That is maybe a misstep from the side of Start Slow and Taper Off. I feel like in Div BA, there would have definitely been people going like, we could probably end, go. But no, we're getting a much safer play from the side of Start Slow and Taper Off. But again, that Stukov did back. He may have been out of resources now that I'm thinking about it, which would have definitely stifled for push. But it's, when you're nervous, you don't want to just kind of throw like that, which I should probably take to heart more when I play, because I'm definitely like, we've probably got this go, and then we lose. I'm like, oh, I guess there weren't enough people for us to end. But this is my Storm League experience, and I'm just probably just like, go! Meanwhile, we do see that the team had just kind of been sitting in that gank bush waiting, but the side of Rise and Grind was just playing a bit too safe there to kind of really kind of fall for that. We do see now that Startso and Taper Off are pushing into the buildings. However, that talent advantage is now down. We're waiting a bit late. We do see a full combo coming out onto Fenrir. However, that Cassie is the one who can keep the armor pretty well. Oh, Horus does roll out, and we do see Fenrir and Xenocross getting popped with that Shadow Fissure once again. Shadow Fissure is back up. Chain missed, however, we just see Ezreal Abyss getting off too low, does jump in despite Avatar being up. We need to see Live DG kind of peel from them the best they can. We do see another stack of Horus's quest getting done, and we do see Kalfazard finally getting his baseline getting done. So that's now that 75% spell damage bonus coming up. I believe it's 75%, let me just have a check. Yeah, 75% spell power bonus is finally online, and that is going to be really kind of, it can be the game changer for comps running Kalfazard, as you suddenly have something that leaves a little bit to be desired. Is, oh, CC is very good, but the damage is a bit lacking. Now is packing like a big punch if he can hit those combos. Because 75% spell power in this game is a lot of spell power, just to say the least. Oh, yep, there's what I was talking about. Like, sure, Valkyrie hit, but because of that little wall corner just there, that Vala is able to survive at least a bit longer, as we do see Xenochrist Fenrir is chasing it. Live DG with that blink heal also, like, just kind of getting out. Horus and Live DG are turning out to be quite elusive characters. To see Brightwing does it once again, however, Sturkov hits the slow, hits the silence, and that will be the Brightwing going down, and it looks like this time we do have an end. Oh, Xenochrist is getting on the same page, but we do have an end call. Horus is doing their best to hit 0 attack day, and just does give him the bucket. Everyone in the bucket. Oh, there is another stun, there is another stun. That'll be Horus going down last dispatch, also being taken out by the auto attack after that. And that, this time, will be GG being called by both sides, and that will be the game going over to the side of Start Slow, then Taper Off. GG. Right, let me bump it on over to my game summary screen. There we go. 100k Siege by Blaze. It's kind of a first thing to note, but that is because they were up. So when they're up in players for its objectives, we see Blaze had immediately gone to Soak, while Dahaka was respawning and went back to soaking basically as soon as they could. Other thing to note, healing pretty close. I say pretty close. 10k can seem like a lot, but there was a lot of quick blow up by the side of Start Slow and Taper Off. And well, Brightwing did their best to kind of keep up with it, and after Blink heal, they definitely did well to do so. But unfortunately, that early advantage that the side of Start Slow and Taper Off managed to get, despite their name, meant they were able to get the lead, and kind of that it was solidified. Right, let's just have a quick look at talents before I change anything over. Anything to note here that kind of stands out as I stare blankly at the screen? Not really. Everything's kind of standard. We do see full shield build from an Uberak, which makes sense. There is a Kalfazard. You don't really want to not have that extra spell armor into a man who is just going to blow you up once you get those stacks, which unfortunately for Brother Nature may have been a little too late, but hey, at least he got there. I probably would not have if I was Kalfazard. I'm not the greatest one. So what I'm going to do for the moment is I'm going to throw it back over to my map view screen. Just like this, I'm going to put on some music and get the next map set up and have a quick drink while I have myself muted, so be back soon. Right, I'm back. I must have missed Stukov dying last game because I was pointing out he did die partway through, which, whoops. Sometimes I miss those things, but I do get a bit caught in the action sometimes and the very much in the here, and sometimes forget what just happened maybe 10 to 30 seconds before. But anyway, this time we have a map that I haven't actually got to cast this season so far, so thank you to whoever picked this out of Start Slow and Rise and Grind, because I get to now cast a different map that I have no clue how it functions, instead of just Infernal Shrines again, which I'm going to assume at some point there's going to be a series with just free maps. It's just 3 different games of Infernal Shrines, and I'm going to lose my mind by the end of them. I'm like, oh no, Infernal Shrines a 3rd time in this series. Oh, let's see what's the same. But no, this time we do have more Sky, and I'm going to jump on over into the game. As my mouse is being weird. And we're going to start with Rise and Grind this time. So in the side with Rise and Grind, we have actually kind of a hyper carry comp, as we do have Last Dispatch on Thrall, Brother Nature on the Zul'jin, Horus is on Stitches, Brightwing is on... Well, Live DG is on Brightwing, I should say, not Brightwing is on Live DG, and Ezreal Abyss is on the Mei. And on the left-hand side, we have Xenochrist back on the Anubarak. Real Big Dill has the Vala this time, so I have Mei as a guest to say that Rise and Grind picked the map. Ritual W is on Anduin, Zero Day Attack is on the Blaze, and Fenrir is on Cassia. Right. So, this could be an interesting map. Very much this is going to turn down to if the Zul'jin can get stacked fast enough. Which, I'd hazard a guess to say yes. There's 2 front lines. Cassia's also relatively, like, up front with how she does damage. Thank you to that, Fend. Meanwhile, we do see that in this kind of offlane, it may... While Zero Day Attack may clear quicker, Last Dispatch should have the dual ability. Thank you to this Rolling Thunder at 1. Just because it does help do percent damage, and you can see Zero Day Attack as kind of getting forced out. But that's really all I'm going to focus on for the offlane, because no one likes watching offlane despite me playing offlane. We do see there's a nice double stun coming out to Zul'jin. Zul'jin not getting protection he needs from that front line. Brightwing did go down to kind of do the extra healing, and that will be them going down. Yeah, this game does feel like it's going to boil down to 2 things. Like, we do have just a very classic start slow and taper off wants to fight. They do have that ability, just kind of like, kill pressure. But if the side of... You know what, Zero Day Attack, fine, here you go for a little bit. If you do have the hook coming at finding its target, and if Zul'jin gets stacked faster than Vala does, it's very much Rise and Grind's favor. So this will be this is really an interesting micro match per se, where these team fights are going to matter. Sure, macro always matters. You do need those level 4s, those level 7s, those level 10s, etc., etc. But I was too busy watching the offlane. This is what I get. This is what I get watching the offlane and just going. But we do see that Brightwing went down while I was just kind of talking about comps, and actually Last Dispatch is now in danger as well. Stun barely falling short, and that will be Last Dispatch getting out with their life. But we do now have top camp pushing, or it's just kind of there to kind of assist that push. Fun fact, I am somewhere on my computer, I'll one day release it, but somewhere on my computer I have a whole PowerPoint presentation on offlane Stitches, and I'm going to say it anyway, but I probably shouldn't. It is titled, Alright Bitches, Let's Talk About Stitches. And it is my masterpiece of, this is why I think offlane Stitches would be good, like, just after his rework. And while it wasn't as great as I thought it would be, I definitely nearly broke it out in a few NGS matches last season, which I think people would have probably enjoyed, but my team didn't sound like they would have enjoyed it quite as much as I would have. We do see objective is getting unlocked soon. We do see now that the side of... This is really where things are going to happen. These objective fights are very important for the side of Rise and Grind. In saying that, so of hooks, so of the picks they can get, we do see phase shift coming out of Brother Nature. Brother Nature is managed to get healed up, and we do see they're wanting to push him. We do see a nice hook coming out from Horus, however it's on to Xenochrist. Probably the one who is the best to take first hooks. Both teams are 6 currently. The thing to note is that Rise and Grind is thinking about extra soak, and they kind of need to stay ahead. Double Tank needs to stay ahead. It's kind of like how Double Healer needs to stay ahead. As you have a bulky upfront fight, you want to be able to kind of get any extra bulk you can, and that level advantage, that talent advantage, can do a lot. Speaking of that talent advantage, there it is. We do see Azrael Abyss getting stepped onto. We do see Zero Tech Blaze, Zero Tech Day getting a nice stun, taking out the Zul'jin first, and Azrael Abyss getting relatively low as well. And that is a borderline disaster if you're the side of Start Slow and Taper off. Fortunately, Blaze charges very good into kind of people who want to clump. I have also just going to quickly mention kind of stacking talents, because I always love doing that, because people love to see stacking. Auto Attack Vala, who's been pretty slow. We do see Thunderstroke Cassia, who's getting up there, like for this point of the game, actually doing pretty well. Piercing Light Anduin, something people meme on more than they should, but into a triple frontline comp such as this, yeah, that's unfortunate. I was just like, let's just watch the guys talking because there's not much else happening, and then never mind. This is a good offlane map. This is a good offlane match, and we do see now Aureus and Real Big Dill is kind of duking it out. Real Big Dill not quite winning that fight so far, but did have a team to kind of help him. Brother Nature does get hit by 0-day attack with that stun. We do see, yeah, he's just slowly stacking. Things to note, we do actually also have Arcanite axes on top of that stacking, so it's very much Zul'jin needs to get stacked, but once again Zul'jin's going down, and I can see what, this is really being falling down to, like, I want to analyze it, but I also want to shoutcast it, and it does, that is another kill going over the side of Start Slow and Taper off. They know who they need to find with these kills, and they are doing it effectively. Right, so objective is up. We all know how the Punisher works. It's just a big, mechie boy who likes pushing in. We do see May is just kind of trying his best to zone out the side. Real Big Deal and Riddle W. Meanwhile, Anubrak and Cassia is once in the mix, so I would like to see just kind of Rise and Grind make the active decision go, let's just, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it. I like to see, let's just ignore this thing and just hit these. Because, like, one of these two would have to get out to peel. And Real Big Dill and Riddle W are not exactly the tankiest of characters. Last Dispatch is just running to safety. We do see Brother Nature is actually using this Punisher to get protected, to get stacked. Riddle W loses Light Bomb as that is 10's advantage coming out. We do see Run of Vengeance, however, Riddle W is going to go down as that I see Thrall, Wind Fury, and we do see Stitches gets that kill, however. We do also note Bunker from Blaze, Light Bomb Anduin, as I said, Run of Vengeance Vala, Cocoon, Anubarak. Cassia is just figuring it out still. We do see Ball Lightning this time. We see Emerald Wind, Brightwing. We see Gorge Stitches. Yep. Taz Dingo Zul'jin, which considering how much he's getting focused this game, which is... I don't know if that was the right one. 3 times, so 3/5 of the deaths of Rise and Grind. That one is necessary. We do see Gorge, meaning they get that heal camp. Avalanche actually gets 2 members away from Xenochrist. Xenochrist, however, is now in an awkward situation. They don't have that burrow up, and they have just so much damage collecting on them. Their hook is found by Horus, and that will be the Anubrak getting squished. Wait, where's Ronan? Who's Ronan? Ah, no. Anyway, wait. No. We do see Zul'jin's taking camp. And other things to note, we just do have one more item to mention. Thrall has gone Earthquake. Which I like. I like Earthquake a lot just because we do have these kind of smaller objectives that kind of do have these... I say smaller objectives. They're pretty big objectives, but Earthquake is bigger, to say the least, so they will be doing well to zone out the side of teams. Especially as these are both quite close range comps. In fact, I may think Zul'jin has the furthest range of all of them after the 15 stack point. Speaking of which, he does still need to get there. Zero Attack Day does drop Bunker. Manages to dodge Emerald Wind with it. Nicely done. Also, hi Ron, hope you're doing well. And we do see now Brother Nature is stepping into this camp, and we do see just camps getting pushed. Zero Attack Day wanting to do a bit more, but... You know, yep, they're thinking about it. Last dispatch has used Frostwolf. We do now see that this whole side of starts on the table going up to them. That's a very dead for all. Green Jesus won't save you now, as that is another quick kill going over to the side of... Oh, Maneuver can use Burrow Charge in 5 seconds. Right, let's just close that. Israel, this doesn't quite find the Avalanche. The blue team read it. We do see Light Bomb coming out in charge. That is unstopped used by Israel Biss, and Oris didn't quite get hit by it. Lightning Ball getting out decent amount of damage, and that is Xenochrist in the back line. Does get hit by it. Does get pulled back in, but well, however, will block the hook going in, like how it blocked the Blaze Charge before. However, the Blaze Charge, at least something was still found after it, but the hook, not so much this time. And that will be the next objective getting unlocked by in just a few moments. So we have 13 to 12. Rise and Grind still slightly ahead, but it is very much a can. This match feels much more like it can go either way this time. But I do think Zul'jin just needs those stacks. Zul'jin needs those stacks if they want to win this. And that hook, like, Stitches is finding these hooks, and Stitches is actually one of the builds that I kind of almost recommend for offlane Stitches in my PowerPoint presentation. But we do see now there is an engage here. Everyone is here. We do see a nice triple Light Bomb hit. However, Life DG's Emerald Wind does kind of peel from them. We do see Earthquake coming out. Brother Nature doing their best to stack during the meantime. Breaking Stitches out. We need that 5th player back. Lightning Ball Lightning has now expired. And we do see these Audax coming out. That will be Stitches going down first, just kind of stuck in the middle of everything. And that is unfortunate. We do see now that it's a 5v4. I don't know quite what Rise and Grind are planning on doing here. They need that. They don't have that pick potential of Stitches being down now. They can't just get a quick hook into 4 and just take that person down. We do see Zul'jin. Brother Nature is just wanting to stack, but with the heavy engage that both Anub'arak and Blaze have, it's made him very hard to even step close, because he has just basically been locked on to a lot of these fights and taken out. Which, it's fine if you do have the tanks to at least stop the Blaze Charge, but the Anub'arak Burrow is its own kind of issue. Right, let me close this. We do here just W is stepping back on. We do see Fenris stepping on. Hook doesn't quite find anything. We didn't even find the beetle, which was fortunate, at least. But we do see Blaze gets a nice charge on Life DG. Blaze, however, is going to fall. Oris is finding an Anduin. Bunker's being used. Brittle W is being sped out. But that will be a phase shift used by Life DG. Too little too late. We do see them dodging Xenochrist, but that will be them going down, as they can't dodge everything. Meanwhile, we do see Zul'jin is doing his best to get damage out. 315 down to 320. He needs to back up before Blaze finds a charge, and indeed Blaze does find that charge, and will be 2 more going down. I was just going to still choose push top, which makes sense. You do have a Punisher. I keep calling it a Punisher. This is a problem. I go from calling like Infernal Shrine to everything's a Punisher. And then we have this map where it's a Protector, which not quite the same as a Punisher. So, fun. Right, but we do see now first fault was taken. We're actually looking to see a Keep push here, but we very much have the same. They actually know at least what they're having as the setup here. They have Anub'arak and Cassia in the mech. They have Real Big Dill and Riddle. Excellent pull by Riddle W as I just saw the hook come out, and the immediate pull. I can't remember what his trait's called. I just call it the trust issues button, because I don't trust half my friends I play with. But yeah, Anduin uses the trust issues button and pulls Real Big Dill immediately to safety out of a hook. We don't have a second one. Let's find out. Actually, we do have double pull, but Xenochrist is probably a better one. Pull is actually have to be used, as we do see him get... Fast with my mouse is no wonder. Things are going weird. Nice double pull by Anduin, meaning that both sides get to live, and this is kind of a power of Anduin. Anduin just kind of can't invalidate the comp, or, well, invalidate Stitches, so that's why I do like the May pickup still. But the Stitches hook needs to find its target, and we're about to see a big... I don't think that the... Oh... Light Bomb barely doesn't find its mark, however, the Blaze Charge will. Brightwing is locked out of everything. We do see Avalanche picking up 2 real quick. Not much follow-up there, but Life DG does need to use that Emerald Wind to get out. We do see double fights. We see Zul'jin having to pop Taz up there. We do see Brightwing getting dove bottom. Brightwing go down, Brother Nature will hold on. But that will be that kind of fight swiftly going over to the side of... I mean, maybe not swiftly, but at least going over to the side of Rise and... Not Rise and Grind. What am I doing? Start on taper off. Ugh. That's what I get for being tired and casting. But I have other stuff to do later. I still want to cast. And again, I have those kind of self-goals to myself so I can get a better microphone than just a headset mic, which keeps apparently cutting in and out. Not a fan of that one. But we do see 16s are now through for Rise and Grind. So at least it is now being evened out. Well, we have a lot of kills over to the side of Start Slow and Taper Off. But Rise and Grind has definitely kept in more soak-wise this game. It does still feel like that. Despite them being down forts and levels and kills, there is still that chance of... I say this for every Stitches comp, I guess. There is still that chance of one hook finding its target, and that will kind of be the turnaround that needs to happen. As Hook is a wonderful tool, let's say, for getting that turnaround. Just going to quickly open talents once again. As we can see, we're in a quieter portion of the game just so everyone's interested. Things are relatively expected. Interesting that we see Q picked up at 16 by Zul'jin when the other Qs haven't been picked up. Oh, this is not where you want to be. Last Dispatch does have a Magic Bar. Dodgy everything does use Earthquake. I don't think that was probably the play. But I guess the idea was try survive, but at that point it may have been a bit too late. However, not the end of the world. We do have point coming up. But this is going to be a very hard kind of ending game for Rise and Grind. They're going to need to fight their hearts out to keep in this. We do see pings coming out. We do see assists. We do see a warning. We do see Aureus is now above the rest of the team. Charge comes out. Zero Day attack comes out with air charge as well. Both Burrow Charge and normal charge miss. We do see Phase Shift keeping Aureus alive just that bit longer. However, even with that bonus healing from Brightwing's Phase Shift, that was just too much damage, and now we see that is the next member going down. Last Dispatch has only just respawned, but two more of their friends have been sent back to core. And now we do have a Storm Talents coming through, this first Storm Talents of this series. We do see Bunker, Fortified Bunker being picked up. We see that, oh god, Farflight Quiver being picked up. That's actually Zul'jin now getting dove on, I imagine. No, he won't even have a chance to get out Taz Dingo. Well, no, it wasn't even up, so he couldn't have. But we do see Brightwing is now locked in a prison, will be going down, and I imagine this will be an end call. Last Dispatch is kind of sitting at the side, getting what poke they can in. But nope, the side of Start Slow and Taper Off has decided core is the play, and they are going to be hitting it right. And Aureus is back up. They're going to try their best to kind of deter the side of Start Slow and Taper Off, but really, that Manticore and Vala is just going to take them down, and that is likely going to be the game and the series going over to the side of Start Slow, then Taper Off. GG said by both sides. Well played. Well played. Right, let me jump it on over to my recaps, my summary screen. There we go. I'm remembering how things work. Things to... Oh my god, Blaze soaked their ass off. 131k with 16k soak. That is a lot. It's a lot. Just to put it that way, it's a lot. Sure, we did see that Start Slow and Taper Off heavier advantage, so that was probably a large reason why, but... Man, that's a lot. Other things to note is hero damage, Cassia and Fenrir kind of did kind of happen as I said. We did need the Zul'jin to kind of stack faster than those two, which you typically, it's hard to say how that works out, because if you have a triple front line, it's easier for Vala and Cassia to stack, but however, if you have that line protecting you, you should be able to step up just a bit more aggressively. However, something didn't quite click with the front line, and that meant Zul'jin was a lot more unprotected than he would have liked to have been. And it did kind of lead to those first 3 early kills that came out in Zul'jin at the beginning of each of those fights, meant that it took him a long time to get stacked. I imagine if the protection of Zul'jin actually went how they were planning, and they were actually able to wall the charges and the burrow charges as they were originally intending, it may have been a very different outcome. but it very much is it's hard to tell without seeing it, and we're just going to have to take it at its face value that it didn't work here, but it very much could have. Let's have a quick look at talents while I am remembering here. As said, Zul'jin did get stacked eventually, it just did take a little bit to happen. We did also see interesting that Q was picked up despite it not being a Q build at 1 and 7 as well. Other things to note, Cassius 63 stacks, Real Big Deal 189, and Win didn't quite get there but did manage to get 7. And it's just because the team fights did happen so quickly that it wasn't really a major thing by the end. We do see Under Pressure by Stitches. Underappreciated talent. Well, this is just in general a underutilized build. Interesting that you do get that with these because you typically see auto attack with the you see usually the auto attack speed if you go in this, if you go slam it you see this. But I just like Stitches. I'll just talk about Stitches given the chance, so I'm not going to go too far into that. The others all relatively make sense. Nice to see Beetle build coming out every now and again, especially because it does screw over that Stitches so well. Right, I'm going to throw it back on the map view screen. I'm going to give a good wrap up here. As we did see, it was a 2-0 by the side of Start Slow then Taper Off, but I feel like what I've picked up from the chat is that their Start Slow then Taper Off is actually one of the ones higher in Division D this season, which I'm going to go over to my others. Actually, they're top. I can see that now they are top, yes. Well, Rise and Grind is roughly around the mid. So, yep, could have gone either way, but it's good to know that Start Slow then Taper Off is kind of the team to keep an eye on if you are others. And there was a talk about Dream Beam and Start Slow then Taper Off kind of happening, and hopefully someone can pick that cast up live, because that feels like it's going to be a good one. But if not, I'll definitely... If not, I'm happy for one of the captains to message me, go, hey, can you do the replay? And I probably will, because this is a fun series to watch. So what I'm going to do for now is I am actually going to go on break. I'm probably going to pick up another cast very briefly, which I'm going to say is going to happen in 10 minutes, but it's probably going to happen before because I'm lazy and don't want to wait. Not that I'm lazy, I've got other things to do after I stream, just got business to take care of, but thank you for everyone for watching this series. It's been a blast. I'm going to put some music on, put myself on mute, and I'll be back once I know who I'm going to be casting next. So I may see you all on the other side. If not, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.